Yo, I'm just putting this at the start of this video. I believe this is episode 3 of Mastering the Markets that I'm uploading right now. This video is that you're currently watching. It might be 2. I think it's 3. No, it is 3. I remember it is 3. It is 3. I said 3 and put up 2. It's definitely 3. However, I'm recording this just to explain that this video is a little bit more choppy and less smooth understanding what's when and how is what and blah blah blah, what day is what, just because December markets were very choppy. I didn't place as many trades as normal, and because I didn't place as many trades as normal, sometimes I forgot to record to put it in the video because I thought to myself, we're not going to have enough content to make a full video. However, at some point during this video I do a whole 20-minute section that is essentially just live trading. So the title of this video is probably going to be Mastering the Markets December Price Action plus live trading for a day or something like that. But the start of this video is the energy is a lot lower than normal because I'm very tired. So if you want to skip the first, let me actually even look whilst I'm editing right now to tell you exactly how much you should skip. If you want to skip the first roughly, it's not that long at all. Basically the first 2 minutes of the video is a lot lower energy than normal because I entered the trades and was talking right after training, so I was tired and blah blah blah. But yeah, there's a live trading section later on into this video. This month, or in December, we took quite a hit. We went down to 7% drawdown on the 5k funded account. I'm also showing account balance, account size and stuff like that now because I don't really care. At the end of the day, as my progression, as I go and develop as a trader, the numbers are going to get bigger. I don't care about showing that it's a 5k account and it's $50 profit, $100 profit here, $200 profit here, because in 2-3 years time, if I continue down this road, those numbers are going to be much bigger, and I don't really have anything to prove right now. I'm only showing what I am doing. So yeah, stick around to watch the live trading in this video, and I hope you enjoy. Manners. Yo people, I'm about to enter a trade on GBP JPY with this 5-minute fair value gap. I'm going to try catch a AM session silver bullet 3 to 4 first fair value gap that forms in my bias has just formed, so I'm about to place my limit. As you can see is here. I'm gonna go onto my broker and place it, and I'll update you after. I'm hella tired today, sorry, I apologize for the energy. Had a long session today and I'm just tired, but I'll update you on this in a sec. Yo, I look nuts, but I'm just fresh out the sauna. I don't know if I can even, I got one of them portable saunas, so I'm fresh out the sauna, that's why I look mental. But as you can see, we're right about direction, we're right about bias, we're right about where price wanted to go. We just haven't been tapped in to this buy limit. As you know, it was a 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet move that I was aiming to get in on. However, obviously we didn't get tapped in. Everything was perfect. We had this 5-minute fair value gap that got tapped in from London session, end of London session. We tapped in, we pushed up. This was when news came out, so it respected the fair value gap, pushed news up, or pushed GBP JPY up. So obviously the news was good that came out. It was bearish for the US dollar, I believe, unless I am just chatting. Let's see this. Unless I'm just chatting. Yeah, bearish for the US dollar, which is obviously why we've shot up on the pound, on the GBP JPY, because GBP JPY relates to US news a lot. It's a risk on, risk off pair. So if GBP JPY is heading down, we can assume markets in risk off sentiment, and vice versa. Didn't get tapped in. I'm about to close out the position. Obviously I didn't get in the position. I'm about to cancel my limit orders, because if the price doesn't get tapped in within the 3 to 4 p.m. window, I call it a day and look for the entry the next day. So that's that. See you in the next clip. Yo, I'm gassed because we finally got in to a trade. As you know, yesterday, or in the last clip, was that yesterday? It might have been yesterday. Let's see. It's the 17th today and I entered this. Oh no, it's the 18th today and I entered this on the 17th. This was from Monday. So as you can see, Monday, we didn't get tapped into our GJ trade. We were right with direction, kind of, because we would have closed out this trade. We would have closed half of the trade out at 3RR. which I believe would have been hit. Yeah, 3RR would have been hit. We would have went closed half, went break even, and then we would have got stopped out if we did get tapped in. However, we didn't get tapped in, and that is just the nature of trading a specific session and strategy. However, what we did get yesterday that I noticed and I didn't record was we had a sweep of, what is this? We had a sweep of London session lows during New York session. So my white lines here are session open and closes, and then the blue lines are my silver bullet timings, which I just have a different color to differentiate to make it easier for you to understand and for me to understand when I look at it. So as you can see, these are London lows. We swept out London lows during New York session. Then we had a break of structure on the 3 minute, and we printed this demand zone, this 3 minute demand zone right here. So I dragged the demand zone along, put my entry on this demand zone, got tapped in at about 5:30, got tapped in, moved up a little bit. We came back down. I wasn't too worried because we came back down to tap into this 3 minute demand zone, which is where I wanted to put my initial trade. I wanted to get in on the 3 minute demand zone, the lowest level demand zone. However, I was like, if I get in at the higher point of the demand zone or the 5 minute demand zone, I'm still going to catch a 5RR if we hit TP. So I was okay with that. If I put it down here, we would have caught 14R, but I'm not here to try and get the most insane entries or the most sniper type of entry. I'm trying to be consistent and I'm trying to just slowly build the account. And I was more happy to get in there where I did than to get in down here and run the risk of price just going crash all the way, because I knew we might come down here, push up to maybe 3RR, I could close out, break even, blah blah blah. Whereas if we came down here, we could still go and I could still break even. However, I just was more, as you can see, we came down and we pushed up before coming back down into here. So I was right in my analogy. It would have been good if I got this here, but is what it is. And I'll keep you updated. TP1 is going to be at around 3RR. So around here, I will close half the position just to make, not close half the position, I'll go break even here. Then at this high over here, I will close half the position and let TP run all the way to 5RR, which is full volume, where I believe price is gonna then come into a form of deep retracement back up. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm doing. I'll update you later tonight or tomorrow. Manners. Yo people, yo guys, what are you telling me? As you can see, this trade here that I was talking about just previously has pushed up. We pushed up to just over 3RR, which is where I would normally take 50% and go break even. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go break even. As you can see there, I think I have already, yep, I've already done it on my broker or my trading platform. As you can see, if we hit stop loss, I'd lose nothing of my balance, which is good. As you can see, 5K account. I don't really care about showing monetary value anymore, because at the end of the day, this is my small account that I'm learning to trade on and trading on in order to then have the confidence to move up and purchase a larger funded account, as everyone knows how it works, blah blah blah. But yeah, so I've moved to break even. We could get stopped out. I'm not going to close half of the position as I would normally do, simply because normally I enter with 1% risk, and then if we hit 3RR, it's a good enough amount of profit for me to then close out. However, because I entered with 0.5% of risk on this trade, simply because we're in December markets, Q4 markets just not moving too nice, it wouldn't make much sense for me to close out half of the position now, because it won't make much of a difference to my account balance closing out. Obviously, as you can see, closing out half of this right now would only give me $20, which isn't even 0.5%. So I'm gonna just leave it. If it was up here, it would probably made sense to actually close out. However, I didn't realize that price had pushed up this high because I didn't have an alert until we had started to retrace. So it doesn't make sense for me to close out any right now. What happens now is we either hit TP or we hit stop loss, break even, and I'll update you. Manners. Yo people, basically I'm recording this clip a few days after this trade actually hit stop loss. However, as you can see, let me just show you blah 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 here. I'm talking about stop loss, break even, and I'll update you. Manners. So as you can see, I just spoke about updating you on that trade. We did hit stop loss at break even, so we didn't lose anything. However, I forgot to record and update that, so that GBP JPY trade that we were in deep profit in did come back and reverse on me, and we did get stopped out at break even. Just thought I would update the video so it makes sense and you're not confused about what happened with that trade. Yo people, what's good? As you can see, I'm currently in some GU sells. I tried to start recording as soon as I got into this sell, but as you can see, it's a casual 3 to 4 p.m. Silver bullet fair value gap entry. Nothing much more to talk about. Overall bias, I was bearish, daily, 4 hour, weekly, dropped down onto the 5-minute time frame, waited for that fair value gap to form in the same direction, entered with, I got in on market execution instead of limit, just simply because I came to the charts and sat down and opened up my DX trade literally as we were tapping into the fair value gap. So I just market executed instead of placing a limit, because maybe I wouldn't have been able to get it off in time. As you can see, we're coming down. We've taken out this area here, which I was going to go break even at. However, we're pushing with a lot of volume right now down to my full TP. I think I'm going to close 75% out at full TP here, and maybe let the rest run potentially if it wants to keep running down to this sell side liquidity, this sell side liquidity, and this sell side. This is high time frame sell side, so that's why I'm taking my most of the profits at this 5-minute sell side liquidity, just so I can secure something. And let's talk about it, man. December price action has actually been horrible, man. It's been so bad. So I think after today, this is going to be my last trade until we come back in January and I can see some form of market structure shift, and then I'll get back into trading. But I'm going to cut it here, take my wins for the year, my losses, my wins, and I'll be happy with where I am at the end of the year, because market, obviously now we've got Christmas in 2 days. It's the 23rd, so we've got Christmas in 2 days, then we've got Boxing Day, then we've got New Year's Eve and New Year's, and all of that stuff happening within like a week. I ain't trying to be in the markets, bro. I ain't trying to be in the markets when all that shit happening. So this is where I'm at right now. Like I'm showing you, we're about to hit TP. Hopefully, let me not jinx it, because we're probably gonna end up, as soon as I say that, we're gonna push all the way back through my stop loss. But is what it is. I'm happy with where we're at right now. And yeah, I'll update you when this hits TP or stop loss or whatever, and let you know where I'm at. But manners and respect. As you can see right here, we're heading back up to entry, and I haven't gone break even on this trade simply because I said I was gonna go break even. However, I was tripping, because when I enter fair value gap entries or silver bullet entry model 3 to 4 p.m, I don't go break even unless the TP is quite far away. For example, obviously this is only a 16 pip take profit, and I like the fact that I will lose or win this trade very quick. Either way, if I'm right or wrong, I will know very, very quickly. And as you can see, I'm probably wrong with this trade. We're about to hit stop loss, unless we react back off of this fair value gap, we fill in 50% and drop down. But most likely I'm about to lose this trade, and this is just how trading works, man. You can't be mad about losing a trade when you know on a long enough time period, on a long enough time frame, this model works. And like I said, the reason I didn't go break even is because I go break even at 3R on my swing trades, not typically on my intraday scalp trades, just simply because, like I said, I like to know if I'm right or wrong very quickly, and my stop loss and take profit allow me to do that. I don't like to intervene with these quick 20 pip, 10 pip moves, because more often than not what might happen is you come down here, you go break even, and it's happened to me multiple times where I've gone break even, we come back up to entry, I get stopped out at break even, and then we come down and crash again. I like to either know I'm fully wrong, which is what my stop loss allows me to do. It lets me know, okay, now you're just wrong. However, when you go break even, you can still be right and not profit from it, simply because, like I said, you're going break even. As you can see right now, we've come up into the 50% of the fair value gap, and we are dropping a little bit. This doesn't really mean anything. This whole candle could still close bullish and stop me out. But going break even is something you need to be very careful about. If it's your strategy to go break even at a certain point, stick to it and do that. However, if it's a situation where you're just going break even because you're scared that price might go to your stop loss, number one, you shouldn't be in that trade. Because if you're scared that price is most likely going to your stop loss, and you're so scared that you don't want to go break even or you want to go break even because you think price might reverse, then you're not confident enough in that trading strategy or that style of trading. Your stop loss should be where you're like happy to say, I've lost this trade, I'm wrong, I made a mistake. Now, obviously, going break even, removing risk off the table is always good if you do it consistently, but don't do it just because you're worried about losing this specific trade that you're in. Just because you're up a certain amount of profit is what it is. And like I said, right now, this is not looking too good for us. But if we do take me out and I hit stop loss, I was wrong and I'm happy with it. But I'll update you with this. This is probably going to turn into a live trading video and might not be on the Mastering the Markets. It probably still will be, but it'll just be like live trading because December, like I said, because of December markets, I haven't really traded too much in December. And this episode of Mastering the Markets, if this even makes it into the cut, it's gonna be very short. I'll be back with the longer form content trading wise once December's over. But as we know, Q4 price action just does a lot of stupidness, and I think that was a very big push. I think we are about to get stopped out. So I'll let this clip run a little bit and see what happens. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. If we don't, we don't. Can't say anything less. So I'll leave this running and I'll probably just time lapse now until we hit stop loss or come back into profit. Let's see. Probably going to get stopped out here. Like I said, we've gone quite deep into this fair value gap and we're not turning around. So probably already marked this off as a loss mentally, because it is most likely going to stop loss. The game's the game, man. The game is the game. We had a nice push off the initial entry. We did have a very nice push off the initial entry, and we did come down to here, this sell side liquidity resting here. A lot of people would have gone break even here, which is where I was potentially going to go break even. And like I said, in hindsight, going break even might have been a good thing, but we're still not out of this trade. Anything can happen. Most likely we're going to hit stop loss, but don't really care. Yep, and we are out of the trade. I got stopped out from a bit of slippage slightly earlier than the actual stop loss here on my DX trade, but that's a loss, and I will see you guys back in January. Manners. Yo, what's good, people? I don't even know if this is going to end up being a video. This potentially might get just completely deleted from my video log because it might not end up being a video. I said to myself that I wasn't going to trade until the 1st or the 5th of January. However, market is very bearish. Market is very, very bearish right now. 4 hour. We've just taken liquidity from this high here, dropped down to the 1 hour. It's a nice low time frame liquidity sweep, or 1 hour liquidity sweep here that potentially could, or it could potentially be a liquidity sweep. Drop down to 5 minute, swept out liquidity, or we came up, made equal highs, dropped down, swept out liquidity. It is also about to turn 3 p.m. And typically every day I trade the 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet, fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. So it looks like there's potentially going to be a setup here. Potentially we've swept out. These aren't the 27th. Damn, I haven't even had my camera on this whole time. My bad. So cool. Look. We've swept out these highs here. This is the liquidity sweep, as you can see. This was Tuesday, the 24th of December, 2024. So Christmas Eve. It is now the 27th, the day after Boxing Day. We have swept out these highs here. We made equal highs, like I was saying. Came down, swept out these highs over here. Now we're tracing down. We will be coming into the 3 to 4 p.m. fair value gap silver bullet session in a moment, and potentially if I do see a correct setup, I will enter with probably a quarter of the risk I normally enter with. Normally I enter around 1%, 0.5%, but due to the time, and I don't want to really trade until January properly, but if an A-class setup does form, the reason I'm not trading until January is because there's not been many A-class setups in December due to the holidays, due to the volatility of the market slowing down, due to there not being a lot of money in the market, because everyone's taking bank holidays, everyone's taking a day off for Christmas, everyone's taking a day off before, after, so naturally there's not as much money in the market, and simply there's not as many A-class setups forming. However, if we can find an A-class setup today, I won't be against it. However, like I said, I will enter the position with 0.5% less risk. So let's go back to the chart. As we can see, we are creating a doji here. What I would like to see in the 3 to 4 p.m. What I would like to see is in the next 47 seconds for this to push down, us to continue pushing down, create a fair value gap here. Where is my brush tool? I'd like to create a fair value gap here that we can then retrace into upon the open of the 3 to 4 p.m. fair value gap silver bullish session, and then drop down all the way to potentially, let me get rid of that and tell you where I would like price to come to, because it is the 27th today. Let's go back to the 27th, where are London session lows. London session lows are all the way down here. So if we can get into some form of a trade entry here, we can put our stop loss above here, we can bring our TP down here, so we can get a 3.5 risk to reward trade. That is literally essentially what I'm looking for right now. So I'll start the recording again in a bit. I've also just realized that we are coming into an area where we potentially could take a trade on GBP JPY. What I was just showing was GBP USD, blah blah blah, how I want to get in for a sell on a fair value gap here. So I've got a few minutes to analyze GBP JPY. If we come to the 4-hour time frame, or the daily time frame, sorry, we can see that we have just swept liquidity from this point here. Bish bash bosh, liquidity sweep. We have just swept liquidity from here, and we dropped down heavily, jumped onto the 4-hour time frame. We can see it now. So we've swept liquidity on the daily. This is how you need to understand technical analysis. We've swept liquidity onto the daily. We've also come up to this higher time frame area of demand and pushed down. Okay, this is the same thing that I'm about to say here. We go to the 1-hour time frame. We have come back. We've swept liquidity on the daily. We have come back into an area of 1-hour demand or supply. Let me say the correct terminology. That's why I say the supply and demand, because supply demand, because for me it's supply / demand. I don't really see it as bullish, bearish. I get it confused with myself all the time. I say supply when it's demand, and I say demand when it's supply, because I know what I mean in my head. We've come up, so cool. Daily, sweep of liquidity daily, drop down. 4-hour, you can see that this is a sweep of liquidity bush, also a sweep of liquidity here. So you could say that this one sweep of liquidity holds more weight than a singular sweep of liquidity, because we swept daily and 4-hour liquidity at the same time. Come down to the 1-hour time frame, you see that we, on the daily liquidity sweep here, we push down. Now we've come up to a 1-hour supply zone. Let me get it right for you guys. 1-hour supply zone. We have also come into, so this will be London session open, this will be New York session open here 3 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. and then this will be right here 3 to 4 p.m. and I'll make 3 to 4 p.m. blue for you guys, so just so you can understand the difference between the session open and closes. So we've swapped liquidity, we've tapped into this higher time frame demand zone. So this is actually giving me a bit more confluence than GBP JPY or GBP USD. As you can see, GBP USD right now, we swept liquidity, we haven't created a nice fair value gap. We've swept liquidity, we've also tapped into a higher time frame demand area, 1-hour demand area, and we have created a fair value gap. So here, as you can see, we've created a fair value gap here. We now need to wait for this 1, 2, 3 candlestick closure. We need to wait for this to create a fair value gap. Now let's say this creates a fair value gap here. What I'm looking to do is enter my position here, put my stop loss or my entry position right here, drag it over, put my stop loss above where we were on the 1 hour, where we tapped into the 1 hour supply zone. And what I would like to do would be to take my profit down here, which would be, do I have a, nope, I do not have a template, so it'll be London session lows. Simple as that. Like take my TP down to London session lows, and if that was the fair value gap, which it isn't because it hasn't formed yet, like I'm saying to you, that would be a 4.32 risk to reward ratio. I would open up my position size calculator. I am on a 5k funded account right now. I am down 5%, which means my account balance is $4,750. I am wanting to risk 0.5% on this trade, simply because, like I said, we have come into 0.5%. What is the stop loss? The stop loss is 22.2 pips. 22.2 pips, and it is also on GBP JPY. Where is GBP JPY? We click that. I will also drag over my, it will ask for here, it will ask for USD JPY ask price. US JPY our price ask is 157.768. 157.768. So we enter the position with 0.16, 0.1688, round it up 0.17 if we do actually enter this trade. So what we need to wait for now, we need to wait for 2 minutes for this fair value gap to actually form, if a fair value gap does actually form, because we look like we're coming up to test it anyway. What would have been nice is the inverse of this. Potentially we could have gotten an inverse here, but I say that off of the knowledge of how the markets work. We might inverse this fair value, this bullish fair value gap, and then still push down. This is also a way to get into trades on the silver bullet session. However, like I said, we'll be patient and we'll wait for what I tend to like to see. We have come into a 1 hour supply zone. As you can see, we've come into a 1 hour supply zone. We could also argue that we have come into this further supply zone over here, which is here, which could come up as a higher time frame supply zone. Yep, that comes up essentially as a 2 hour supply zone we've tapped into. We've tapped into the 50% of it, but just so it doesn't clutter our screen as much, I'm going to bring it up and say that it's a 1 hour supply zone for the sake of not cluttering the screen. So London's or New York session opens. We also then, so we've got this 1 hour supply zone that we're talking about here. New York session opens. We also come back into London session. As you can see, it's 12 p.m. We come into London session supply zone. So we've got two bullish or bearish. We've got two reasons to believe we're bearish. Now we have 3 to 4 p.m. fair value gap. So what am I looking for? 1, 2, 3. Got 3 candlesticks. Boom. We could potentially look for a 50% retracement into this fair value gap. It starts from 1, 2, 3. So we put our stop loss here. We take our TP all the way down to London session lows, which is 1.84. So because it's 1.84, we simply go remove drawings. I'm not entering a trade unless it's 2.5, 2.75 risk to reward. Makes no sense for me. So we go back to GBP JPY because that's another trade that we looked at that we wanted to get into. What's happened on the 5 minute? We have created 1, 2, 3. We have created a fair value gap here. A very, very small fair value gap here on the 5 minute. 1, 2, 3. We could put a potential sell limit right here. 1, 2, 3. Put our stop loss above this candlestick here, 11.6, and we take ourselves all the way down to London lows. Now that is a trade that I'm willing to take. So let's go to the 3 minute just so we can accurately zoom in. 1.198324 is where I need to put my sell. And it's GBP JPY sell limit 198.324. Bish bash boss sell. Also cool. So we have a stop loss of 11.6. I have to do this very quick. I want to enter 0.5, 11.6, 2.34. So I have to enter. That says 1.6. I was thinking 2.34 is kind of crazy. 0.32. So I need to enter two positions. 0. What did it say? 0.32. So I need to enter one position. Let me put this here so I can just, it's a 5k account. I don't care. 0.34. So we'll do 0.23 or 20 because my account says that I can only. Okay, let me just send this real quick. 324 send, and then that was orders. That's the 0.20. It says I need to enter 0.32. Cool. Go back here. Enter an extra 0.13. So limit 324 0.13. Right? Yeah, 12. Send order. Cool. The reason I'm doing that is because in my Forex, my Rocket 21 5k account, there's a rule that says I cannot enter one trade that is over 0.23 lot sizes due to the lot size consistency rule. So I simply just split it up. I'm ending this clip now because it's been quite a long clip. I'm going to set my stop loss and stuff in accordance to where it should actually be, and I'll update you very soon. So as you can see, I've just put my stop loss on the trade. My stop loss is 198.440. So it's at the, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 candles to create, or I'm on the 3 minute. I knew I was tripping. So we have 1, 2, 3 candles to create this fair value gap, the first fair value gap of the 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet session. This is the candle that and this is the candle that created it. Put my stop loss right above the candle, the 3 candlestick pattern that created the fair value gap. Hopefully we come back up into this fair value gap, tap down, and then push all the way down to London session lows. What I will do is I will close half of my position at 0.3 RR. I will close a percentage of my position, most likely about 50% of my position here, just to confirm some sort of profits, to confirm what 0.75 of the trade, and then I will let the rest, the other 0.75, run either to break even. So I will take half here, move stop loss to break even, and then let the rest run to TP, full TP volume, or break even, and that's how I'm going to go about this trade. So I will update you, like I said. Manners. I am thinking I might potentially also enter GBP USD if we create a fair value gap here, simply because I'm happy with risking 0.5% here on GBP USD and 0.5% here on GBP JPY to lose 1% if we lose both trades. But if we make both trades, 8 divided by 2 is 4. This will make 4%. This will make 6% essentially if we hit TP. If we lose 1%. I'm very happy with those odds. I'm just not happy with the time of year that this kind of setup is occurring in. It looks like a textbook setup, so I'm not gonna deny or not gonna ignore what I'm seeing, and I'm going to enter on both trades. Like I said, if we close here on the in a minute and 50 seconds, and then we've pushed back, if we close here, I'm going to enter off of this fair value gap. Maybe I might put my stop loss right above the liquidity sweep. I think I'm going to keep it simply to just actually the fair value gap silver bullet entry. So put my stop loss here, 5 pips, 12.58 risk to reward ratio, because I'm happy to lose 1% to potentially make 6 plus 4. I'm happy to make 10% and risk 1%. I'm very happy to do that. So this video is probably going to get added into season. I've uploaded season 1 episode 2 of Martin Market, season 1 episode 3 needs to upload. This will most likely go into season 1 episode 4. And even though in episode 3 I said I wouldn't trade until January, like I'm saying to you right now, I'm not gonna sit here and not pay attention to A-class setups if they form in front of my face. It just doesn't make sense. So as you can see, we've got 45 seconds until this candle closes. I'm gonna go run to the toilet real quick and probably time lapse this. When I get back, I might enter this trade. Where are we at? We created a new, yep, perfect. We got the fair value gap that we're looking for. So what I will do is I will bring this to the middle of the screen, smaller it so I can see what I'm doing. What trade is this? GBP JPY, GBP JPY sell. Stop loss is 5 pips. Count size is that. Risk 0.5, 5 pips stop loss. GBP USD 0.47. We split that into 0.22, 0.22, 0.44. That's fine. So we'll go and trade this. We'll go 0.44 limit, trade entry 1.25673. 1.25673, 0.22 sell. Let's make this big screen. Send order. And we'll go again 0.22 sell limit 0.25673. Send order. Bring this back here. Find out where stop loss is. 1.25723. 1.25723. 0.23% of balance. 0.25273. 0.23. 0.46% of balance. So then, in order to make it 0.5%, we need 0.4. 0.22, 0.22, that's 0.444. What did it say? 0.47. 22, we need 0.5. Where were we at? 0.25, 723. 0.257. Oh no, that was stop loss. Entry price. Limit was at 0.25673. 0.25673. 0.25273. Yep, cool. Post. And I won't put take profit because I'm gonna be here and be attentive to as and when take profit is getting tapped into or whatever. So halfway through this trade, we will go, not halfway, at 0. Essentially here, we'll go break even, take half, let the full volume run to here or stop loss. Same thing with here. We will go down to here, take half, go break even, let the full trade run down to here. As if we get tapped in. I let you know what happened, free. I have no idea what just happened, but if I go to my trade history, I lost the trades I just entered on GU. But I didn't get stopped out. I'm really confused. Trade volume, trade price. Or here, yeah, lost. And 0.5%. I'm really confused. 27243. Why was my... I'm really confused right now. Oh, I entered the trade and then I said to myself, let me not enter the trade there Let me enter the trade and put my stop loss above. Okay. So I've come to edit this video, yeah? I've come to edit this video, right? And I'm talking about why did I lose this trade? I must have been tired, bro. Because look. 27243. Bear in mind right here it says buy. The reason I lost this trade is because I accidentally entered a buy limit instead of a sell limit, and then I was confused because I wasn't paying attention and didn't even think that that was something that I could have done. And then I go on to explain, so I must have been out of my head, bro. I must have been tired as anything. I entered a buy when I was meant to enter a sell, got stopped out of the buy because I was meant to enter a sell, and then I make up something in my head to make it make sense to myself, saying, oh, I must have done this, bro. I just entered a buy instead of a sell, bro. I'm clocking it now, 2 weeks later. What's the date of that video? 27th, it's the 2nd. I'm clocking now, 5 days later. 6 days later? Nah, I'm just an idiot and I entered a buy instead of a sell, man. That's what happened. Make us back what we lost. To be fair, I'll be honest with you. I'm trading my Rocket 21 5k funded account a little bit more recklessly than I would normally. And the reason I'm doing this is just because I already kind of know that I need to buy a new funded account, because the rules on this Rocket 21 account, they don't really fit how I trade. So I'm not too stressed if I lose this account. I'll just buy a new account. I've already passed stage 1 and stage 2 on this account. I don't doubt my ability to pass stage 1 and stage 2 on a new account. If I buy a new account, it is what it is, and we'll have to see what happens. But that's where I'm at now, and yeah. If I lose this account, I'm not really scared. I'm not really worried. I was down 5%, so if we lose all of these, I'll be down 6.7%. That really isn't realistically, that isn't nothing. Understanding that I hit 8.3 risk to reward ratio trades nowadays because of the way I trade, could make it back in an instant. So I'm not really too fussed. But yeah, that's what's going on right now, and I'll keep you updated. Bruv, I'm clocking now that apparently we lost both trades. We got stopped out of the GBP JPY. We pushed down into profit. We got stopped out of GU. Is what it is. As you can tell, man's getting ready. I'm on my way to do my training session today. So, manners.